Hi, I'm Wietje Ponson-Wever. I'm a pediatrician. This video will explain how to create a patient list in PowerChart. We'll be looking at how to create a provider group-based patient list, a location-based patient list, and also a custom patient list. After you've logged into PowerChart, let's go and click on the patient list icon. When you open PowerChart for the first time, you will have no patient list. To create one, click on this wrench icon, List Maintenance. On the left-hand side of this screen, you will see all the available lists that have been created and shared with you. On the right-hand side, you see the ones actually visible for you. At the moment, as you can see, there are no lists visible. We have to create a new one. Let's say you want to make a list with all the patients that are admitted in the hospital and being treated by your provider group. For example, the cardiology provider group. Click on New and select Provider Group. Click on Next. From the list of provider groups, select Cardiology. Then select Encounter Types and select Inpatient. To complete the list, select Discharge Criteria and then select the second option, Only display patients that have not been discharged. Then give the list a name and click Finish. To move this list to your active list display, move it to the right by clicking on this arrow. Then click OK. Now you have your first list created. Cerner allows you to create multiple lists for your convenience. To create a list based on location, click on New and select Location. Then from the list of several departments, select the desired department. For example, B4. Select Encounter Types, Inpatient, and also Discharge Criteria. Only display patients that have not been discharged. Give your list a name and click Finish. Move your list to the active list display and click OK. So this way you can create a patient list for every department that is relevant to you. For example, B4, Intensive Care, Emergency Department. By clicking on these lists, you see the patients that are admitted in this department. In addition to these lists, you can also make a custom list. To do this, select Custom and just give the list a name. You don't have to select any other criteria and click Finish. Now this list, as you can see, is empty. To add patients to this list, just click the Add Patient button. Select your patients on date of birth or their name and click OK and add them to the list. To delete patients from this list, click the Remove Patient button. After you've created a list, you can adjust the display by clicking on the Customize Columns button. For example, you can delete columns, the MRN for example, or you can add columns, the date of birth. Columns that are also very handy are New Results and the Note. You can adjust the position of the column by dragging them up. Then when you're finished, click Yes to changes, and this way you have adjusted the columns of your list. In the column that we just added, the Note column, what we can do with that, we can add a new sticky note. For example, this patient, click on New Sticky Note. Always state your relationship. The safest one is always co-treatment physician. And over here you can add the desired text for this patient and then click on OK. As you can see right now, here you see a sticky note appearing. To read this note, you can click View Sticky Note and everyone can read what you wrote over there. The New Results button is also interesting for a patient. By clicking on this button, you get a separate screen with all sorts of vital signs and other info the nurses inserted in the patient file. Every list you create can also be shared with a colleague by clicking on the Properties button and then select Proxy. Select New. Over here you can select a group or a provider. Search for the desired provider. Give this person full access, maintain, or just read your list. Select a from and to date and then select OK. If you have too many lists, you can always move a couple of them back to the available list, or even right-click and delete the patient list. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you very much for your attention.